everyone, and happy new year. I know it's been a while since we did this. Imagine this, huh? Since you were a small boy, you started engaging in alcohol when you were as young as class 7. By the time you get into high school, you are super addicted. After high school, college time, when you're working, those are over 15 years. You are on serious alcohol engagement. You get so much into alcohol. Cigarettes, you smoke so many sticks in a day. And now you switch even from the good alcohol to the illicit brew. But then in a day, your life turns around. I'm sure you're looking forward to hearing this very amazing story. But first and foremost, let's do what you do best, and that is making chapatis. So hi everyone, and once again welcome to my YouTube channel. As I had earlier mentioned to you that today we are having such an amazing guest. It's quite a thrilling story, and he has actually enjoyed the chapatis. I'm sorry I'm not able to put that clip when he was eating chapos, but can you please attest? How are the chapos?
Awesome and very soft.
Yeah, I'm sorry I was not able to put that clip, but he's really enjoyed the chapatis as I was making them. You saw that. Now, I had mentioned to you that today we are talking about a situation whereby there was alcohol and substance abuse. It's quite a thrilling story, and so we're going to hear from my guest. It's going to be an interrogative session, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. But before everything, kindly subscribe to my channel, share and like, and let us grow together. So, karibu sana.
Thank you.
So I'd love you to tell my people your name and your age, your status, marital. Yeah, just a simple introduction about yourself.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me in this show. It's an awesome one, and hope it reaches as many people as possible.
Yeah.
So that they can learn and know how much about life. Sure. My name's Paul Karano. I'm a 39-year-old Kenyan male, a civil servant, and father of one, and I have a spouse, one lady.
Wow.
Yes.
That's really amazing. So, you had told me about your life that it involved a lot of alcohol and substance abuse. So, my first question is, when and how did you start engaging into this alcohol and substance abuse?
Well, it's been quite a long time. I started indulging some long time ago, because I remember it was back in primary school. I was still a young kid in standard 7. This is when I moved from from a rural setting to an urban setting, where I came to mingle with my peers, who to them and their upbringing, alcohol was not an issue. So now to fit in that peer group, the pressure that was there, I also had to indulge. So it is in class 7, you can see it's a very young boy here, an innocent one, who is just indulging for the sake of it. But it was just to fit in the group. That was the idea. I want to roll with these boys who are calling themselves boys, because maybe in the streets they look like celebrities. And that's how I started, little by little. But personally, I couldn't afford it, so it wasn't overindulgence. It was just that since I have to roll with them, happen a pale I could have an intake of some alcohol. But now it blew up when I joined secondary school. I went to a boarding school. I was a very bright kid then. I went to a provincial school, and still, once I go to high school, I still have to look for the same kind of company, so that I can feel I'm fitting. Those are the people you look like. When you look at them, you see they are all in there. They are quite the people. They are the ones who can be seen, who can be heard. Yeah. So I have to fit in this same group. Now, with alcohol comes with financial responsibilities. Yes. You have to get money to get this alcohol. Yes. So one thing led to another. This is the point where now you start since you want to finance your alcohol needs, the pocket money you're getting from your parents is not enough. Actually, I think I used to get nearly the bus fare to get to school. So you start stealing things from the school, you steal things from your fellow students to sell to the villagers out there. In return, you can get some cash to buy the alcohol.
Yeah.
So much so, you couldn't steal forever. Now we devised other ways, going to the chemistry labs to mix chemicals.
No, you're in which form at this time?
Now I'm in Form 2.
Wow.
Yes. And the chemistry we've started learning, and those who had advanced knowledge in chemistry, they knew that when you mix ethanol with what, you'll come up with an alcoholic drink.
Wow.
So we started brewing our own. Now you see the body continues to get used to it.
Yeah.
Because it reaches that point when you must brew so that you can sustain the needs of the body.
Yes.
And that is how I got really indulged into it.
And
Fully blown alcohol dependent.
And how long did this go? Did this go for before now your time of changing?
This went on for up to, that was the, okay, to get highly dependent when I was in Form 2, that was in 1998. All the way up to 2014.
Wow.
So that is around
That's
16 years.
No, you are totally dependent on this.
Totally, a total alcoholic.
So, and because we had mentioned of substances,
Yes.
so tell me, what exactly were these things you were taking?
Now, with alcohol, there is that illusion
Yeah.
that when you feel the alcohol, the primary reason for you to take this alcohol is to get high.
Yes.
Once you get high, now you'll start feeling, once the body is that highly dependent on alcohol,
Yes.
you start feeling you want to boost it more. The alcoholic high, the alcoholic level that the highness you want from the alcohol, you feel it's not high enough.
You need to get boosting and boosting.
You need to
and
boost
boosting.
it more.
Yes.
This is where you turn to cigarettes, you turn to bangi. So those are the kind of, and mirror. Those are the kind of substances that I used alongside the alcohol.
For all those years you have mentioned.
No, for Mira, I didn't chew for a long time because I lost a tooth out of Mira. So I quit chewing Mira. That was after like 4 years of chewing Mira. I lost a tooth. I quit the Mira. And after high school, I got into the wrong hands with the law because of especially bangi. So I also quit bangi at an early stage.
Okay.
But with alcohol and cigarettes, they went concurrently.
Wow. So tell me, how did this kind of abuse affect your life, both in academic-wise and also job-wise and also in family-wise?
Let's say it affected my life in everything-wise. Academically, I really dropped. When I was joining high school, I was a very bright kid. But by the time I was leaving high school, I was not the same person. The grades you could have imagined that I had when I was joining and the grades I had when I was leaving, they were ways apart.
There was a drastic
It was
fall.
a very drastic fall. I had sponsors in high school who had looked at my academics when I was joining.
Yeah.
And by the time I was in Form 2, I think I had like 3 sponsors. They all dropped the sponsorship because they sent me letters, warning letters because I'm failing.
Yeah.
If I don't change, they will withdraw. I continued failing until they withdrew the support, the sponsorship. So academically, it was a flop.
Job-wise, no?
When I was employed, I thank God, at least by the time I was getting employed, I was able to even to hide this issue of alcoholism. So it wasn't so much in the eyes of my employer. But now with time and now I'm starting to get my own money, it had to show. I've had brushes with road accidents. I've had brushes with now my employer to a point of receiving warning letters. But I thank God it didn't go too far to a point of maybe losing my job.
Oh, okay.
God salvaged me before it went to that point. With my family, yes, of course, there's nowhere alcohol issues will mend another issue. If you have issues in the family, I can't be counted to maybe come in, solve an issue. I'm actually a problem myself because of the alcoholic issues. So it never helped. It was just messy. Everywhere, everything was just a mess. Until now, I was salvaged from that mess.
So like maybe how was your relationship with your parents, your siblings?
I thank God because when I look at some people with alcoholic problems, I've seen people fight physically. People go to the extent of doing fatal things like murder.
Yeah.
I do thank God that he was still in control, even when I was so much in that abusive, in that issue of abusing alcohol that much. I didn't get violent, and my family was also supportive. They didn't just look at me and throw me out or something. There was still the love in the family. And that I think God made that, God gave my family such kind of hearts and attitude towards me, because in many families you see, when one becomes an alcoholic, he becomes an outcast in the family.
Yeah.
I never became an outcast myself.
Also, at least there was that support
There
from
was
your
that
family.
support from the family.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, there's something you've mentioned about you being totally dependent on these things, on these substances. How dependent were you? Like, explain to us. Somebody would ask, how dependent were you on alcohol? Like, did you need it to survive, or tell us the drill? How was it?
Highly dependent. Now it's like the air I breathe.
Wow.
That I couldn't do anything unless I'm sleeping. As long as I'm awake, I have to have alcohol in my system. I can't comprehend what you're telling me. I can't tell you something that's making sense. If I talk, I'll talk nonsense. When you tell me something, I will get the opposite of what you're telling me until I get some alcohol in my system.
So it was the first thing you could wake up to in the morning?
When I wake up in the morning, before I leave bed, I used to have a shelf at the side of my bed. And before I sleep, I'll make sure there is some drink for me to wake up to. Because after I take that morning sip, then I'll be able to wake up and prepare myself for work. But I'm already drunk when I leave the house.
And is it this the normal alcohol, or it's this illicit?
I used to take illicit, hard alcohol because my system could not be sustained by maybe the normal stuff sold in the bars. My system could not be sustained by that. I had to get something hard, very alcoholic, high in the alcoholic percentage. That when I drink, to get into the system very fast, I'll be charged. We used to call it charging. You get charged very quickly.
So every time you had to walk with at least a bottle of those things?
Yes, I used to carry the plastic water bottles so that you mistake it for drinking water.
Okay.
I have alcohol in the bottle.
Oh my God.
That is my fuel when I walk and even when I'm walking.
Okay, so tell me about the cigarettes. Were they as bad, or was it as bad as the alcohol thing?
They were as bad because, like I said, they ran concurrently.
Okay.
Whenever I'm taking a sip of this, I'm dragging a puff of this.
Alright.
They are running concurrently.
Okay.
Yes.
Like how many sticks of cigarettes could you smoke in a day?
Well, I think in a single okay, maybe when I'm busy at work, I will limit, because now you see with cigarettes they have that awful smell. If I
Yes.
smoke and maybe I'm with my bosses, it
Yeah.
will raise, their eyebrows will rise.
Yes.
But once I'm out of the working environment and in a drinking situation, I will drain a whole packet that's about 20 sticks in one single sitting.
In a single sitting?
Yes.
That was total dependence.
Yes.
Wow. So you told me there was this miracle that happened about your transformation.
Yes.
And that's what I'm really eager to hear. So tell me about the transformation.
Well, in this the alcohol dependency, Now it got to a point of now distraction. It's not dependency, it's now distraction. I'm distracting my life completely. In this sense that now I'm not taking this alcohol to be able to perform, to be able to hear people talk, to be able to perform my tasks.
Yes.
Now it turned into a nightmare. I will say this is where now God came in and decided, you have had enough.
Yes.
I have to rescue you now. And for him to rescue me, I had to see the dark side of it.
Yes.
By seeing the dark side of it, was it came in form of now experiencing nightmares. It came in form of
Sort of illusions.
illusions, seeing stuff in my house, in the room I was living in, the posters I have on the walls. I could see the pictures on the wall hangings start talking to me.
Wow.
I could see them crying, blood, lips moving, and literally I could see they're communicating. When I'm driving during working hours, I could see like buildings move.
And you're driving that
And I'm
time.
driving. Now this became very serious. That's the time I remember there's a God who delivers. And he came through first time through my mom's prayers. Because I remember it was at night, I have my drink on the table, I have my cigarettes, but now I can't sleep. It came like I was bound by very sharp things in my body. I could feel I was completely bound. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't move. And they were painful. I could feel like I'm bleeding inside. When I look at myself, I have nothing binding me, but I can feel it. I could even scream because I was feeling pain. I started by waking up neighbors. It was very funny because they thought I had gone mad. I was telling them to cut off my arms so that this thing that is binding me can loosen and get free.
Yeah.
Then we can stitch my arms back. That was my reason.
Yes.
No, they thought I was crazy. I saw they are not helping me. I went back to my house. Then that's the time I remember calling my mother. I called my mother. She's very prayerful.
So what time was it around?
It was around 3 a.m.
Wow.
Yes, and I can't sleep. And my mom, as a mother, as a woman of God, she came through. We prayed over the phone for around 33 minutes. And by the time we were through with prayers, she had told me before we started praying, what do you have in that house? I told her I have alcohol, I have cigarettes. She told me to throw them out of the house and anything else that is ungodly. I threw them out and we went to the prayer session. By the time we were during the prayers, I could feel my body loosening up. I was feeling it.
Because you're feeling it's like you've been tight things like
Like for
the
example,
organs are
just take
held
something and tie yourself very tightly
like a
string,
rubber band sort
like a
of.
rubber band. The way you feel, then when you
that kind
loosen
of
it,
tightness.
then when you loosen it and you feel it loosening,
Yes.
and you feel even your blood is flowing now.
The relief,
That's the relief I was feeling in my body. And after the prayers, I told my mother, I feel very much okay. Then she told me now the devil is a liar. The devil will not hold you captive, but now you have to make the decision. You have to make your ways right with God. Because that's the only way to get rid of this. And I told my mom, I'm very much ready to make my ways straight with God. And it did not end there, per se. After that, the following day, now, the miracle that really happened was that I was not feeling like drinking anymore.
Okay, the urge had totally
The
gone.
urge had gone. And actually after prayers, I was able to sleep.
Okay.
I slept well. And I woke up in the morning. I was feeling weak. I was feeling nauseous. But I just prepared myself and went to work.
So the urge for alcohol was not there?
Yes, that morning I woke up without thinking of drinking.
Wow.
I went to work, nothing came into my mind about drinking. So that urge had gone. Now the thing was, now the body was not used to this.
Yes.
The physical body was not used to that. It was used to having alcohol in the system. Now I was suffering from the withdrawal symptoms. And then now, like, in the afternoon, I felt though there were some demonic attacks coming to me.
During the day.
During the day.
Uh-huh.
And I felt, I think after the prayers with my mom, now the connection with God was there. I could feel what I need now is God.
Yeah.
And I talked with my sister in the afternoon. She told me, I have to go to church and be prayed for.
What kind of things were you, or rather, what kind of withdrawal symptoms are you having?
Now, the illusions are back. I'm getting the illusions of seeing
The buildings
moving. I could feel maybe I could talk to somebody who's not there.
And you're seeing the person is there?
I'm seeing the person is there and we are communicating. But a third party will tell me, who are you talking to?
Oh, okay.
So I decided to walk to town to go to church and get prayed for. Along the way, the streets of Nairobi in town, a lot of things were happening. Actually, people could look at me and think maybe I'm mad. The kind of grip I was telling you about that was prayed for, and it loosened up. When I pass outside a shop, you see the shops that play music. If a shop is playing gospel music, that grip will come back.
Okay. Now, is it just in your hand or in your body, or what?
It was the whole body, around my ribs, my arms, my legs. Say around the whole body.
Yeah.
The bondage was like the whole body was bound.
Yes.
So I'll walk fast when I'm passing a shop that is playing gospel music. I'll walk faster. Then when it's secular music, I could loosen up a bit. Well, I prayed, God give me the strength. I managed to get to the church. I managed to go to meet with the young people there who my sister had communicated with that my brother is coming and he needs prayers. My sister was busy at work. Until I got a chance to get into the prayer room and I was prayed for. I felt really relieved. I could feel the relief all over me. I could feel the bond was no longer there again, just like the previous night after my mother had prayed for me. I could feel now the presence of God in me. I could feel it. I could feel now God is working inside me.
Yes.
And after the prayers, I walked out of the church, went back to my place. Now remember, previously I could only eat after I drink alcohol. I couldn't eat anything when I was when I'm very sober. But this time when I'm going home, I felt hunger pangs. Something that I had not felt for a very long time. I felt I needed to eat. So I was able to eat something along the way, and I didn't vomit. I was able to get to my house and try to sleep. But then during the night, the attack once again came. Same demonic attacks. Now, this time they came in form of, I walked out of my house and out of the area I was living into the road, the main road, and I saw a lake full of black water. And there's something in my vision, or something in my mind, still in the midst of the illusions, and I could see underneath the mass of black water, where I could see there were seeds, dirty seeds, chains all over, and I knew that I was heading to those seeds. I was supposed to go under the water,
No, the black water.
the black water, sit in those seats and be bound by those chains.
But there are other people in those seats.
I couldn't see people, I could see myself, and even how the chains were operating, I don't know. I never got to know how who was operating the chains. And now this...
No, is this in a dream or it's in reality?
It is in reality. Personally, I'm outside there. Physically, I'm outside there.
Physically?
Yes, whoever is around can see me standing outside there. But there was nobody because it was almost early morning.
So it was outside your house?
Outside my house. I'm contemplating these things in my head and seeing them.
Wow.
And whoever can, if you stand there, you can see me. But the things I'm seeing, you can't see.
You can't see, yes.
Now that's the point I thought of now calling my sister again. And I told her, now I'm going to die. I think I said I'm going to die. I knew this was the end of me.
Yes.
How the miracles worked that my mother and my sister connected at that and in those wee hours of the night. They connected and they were able to trace me. And they had never come to my place before that, I think. But they were able to trace up to where I was. By the time they were getting to me, I was already feeling I'm getting to the water. It was my time to go to those seats, like I was sacrificing or something. Now I had 2 prayer giants who held my hands, took me back to the house, and they made really powerful prayers. Remember now I have not drunk again, it's only the illusions that are coming back. It's only the imaginations and the demonic attacks that are coming back.
Yeah.
So we prayed until morning when it said that we have to go to church again and attend the morning glory session. Yeah, we went to church, we prayed. A lot of things then happened in the church. This is the point now, the things I was seeing under the water.
No, the chains.
Yes, the chains I was seeing under the water, the black water, I could see them. Now, they are like now the ones that were binding my body and barbed wires and such kind of stuff. Now I could see them coming out of my body, being thrown in some sort of a bucket, and somebody took them away.
So now you're in church when you see
inside the church at the altar. We are praying there with a pastor. I told my mother, I told my sister, I told my pastor, I'm seeing these things. I've seen these things happen. I think even Bishop came. I think after the service was over, Bishop came and I went to the pulpit to help my sister. I went to the pulpit to say hi to the bishop. I saw a powerful man.
Which bishop is this?
This is Bishop Pius Muiru.
Oh wow, Maximum Miracle Center. Okay.
I saw a big man, powerful in physique, powerful in a way that I wasn't able to describe. I could see his hands, like his hairs were lined in a way, standing like this, all white. Something just was depicting the presence of God and the power of God that was around there. I felt really delivered. I felt now my life has really changed. And after that, I couldn't get back to work. Now this is a point I really needed support. My body was weak, my health was deteriorated. So I went with my mom back to her house for now the physical nursing and also spiritual nursing. And this took like 4 days. Within 4 days, I was feeling much okay. My appetite was okay, I could eat well, my mind was clear, I could talk reasonably, I could listen and reason. And that was quite a change, quite a transformation.
Wow.
And after record 2 weeks being away from work, I went back to work. The first thing my immediate supervisor told me, he told me, wow, your eyes have changed. I told him, yeah, they have changed. It's the work of God in me. Hey, look at you, even your body, you've really changed.
Wow.
You are fatter. Remember, those were only 2 weeks I had been away from work. So that is how the transformation came through. And I had reached, I think God knew I had reached the point of this total distraction. Because now I think when I look back to those days, when I look back to 2014 and before 2014, that would have been a point where now I could have died. That must have been the point where I died. Because even when I look at cases of alcoholism and drug abuse, where people eventually die, maybe they hang themselves, they fall in a ditch and maybe drown in water. I tend to believe they undergo the same experience I was going through. Now, like if I went inside that water, the black water that was seeing, I want to imagine if there was nobody to rescue me, if I didn't know anything that God rescues people and gets to know the right people to call at such a point and during such a time. Maybe I could have done something drastic. The time I was feeling like cutting off my arms. And I was carrying 2 sharp knives. That's how I believe that's how the devil leads people to even doing such drastic things.
Yes.
But I thank God I had that knowledge. He gave me that knowledge of seeking Him and seeking the right people.
Yeah.
That I was delivered.
Wow, that is really amazing. So, you've told me that after that night your mom prayed with you, that was the last time you didn't take alcohol again.
After that, there was not even the thought of it.
So we can say that the urge and the addiction ended in a day.
It ended in 33 minutes of prayer.
That's when that crazy addiction came to an end.
You see, before praying, before contacting my mom, I had my alcohol here on the table and my cigarettes. She told me to get rid of this. I threw them out, and after her prayers,
that was the end of the
I didn't ask that. I didn't think even about it.
How was your health? Were you able to eat, or you were so much dependent on these things such that you could not even eat?
Like I told you, I couldn't eat. I had no appetite of eating. Once I get drunk late in the night, I'll pass by a mutura joint and eat a mutura. My body, by the time I was transforming, I was weighing 56 kilograms. And within 3 months after that, I was 107 kilograms.
Are you serious?
Yes.
So this is what God can do.
That is what God can do.
That is really amazing. You know, I know there are so many people who are listening to your story and they're in that situation. But before even I go to what people might be thinking, what is that thing when you are in that situation that in as much as maybe you could not speak to somebody and tell them, it's something you wished, I wish I can, you are not there by self-will. You are just there because of maybe circumstances, but you really desired to be out, but it was beyond you. What is that particular thing?
From the onset, from the time I was looking at alcohol like something to give me status quo amongst people, amongst my peers, I never knew it will become a thorn in my flesh. It will become the enemy that I'm always with.
Yeah.
So the thing that I always prayed, God, take this away from me, was the alcohol, was the drink.
It was too much for you.
It was a friend in the beginning. It was giving me a place amongst my peers.
Yes.
But then I was not even, by the time I was now an addicted person, I wasn't looking for a place amongst my peers. Now I was looking for a place in the alcohol itself.
Oh, it was that bad.
I wanted alcohol to accommodate me. After accommodating me, now it became an enemy. Now I reached that point of, God, how do I stop this?
Wow.
And anytime I stop, there were those now the withdrawal symptoms.
Yes.
You've heard of people even die after withdrawing from alcohol.
Yeah.
They do. They do, especially that abrupt discontinuation.
Yes.
People will die.
Yes.
Now I used to stop, and I tell myself, now I will not drink again. Whenever I feel like drinking alcohol, I'll be taking a lot of water. Then the withdrawal symptoms will come. They'll come in form of tremors, the illusions again. The moment I see a wines and spirits joint somewhere and pop in, have a drink of like 20 or 40 shillings, and I'm back to normal. So I could see now that is why that's the more reason I was saying, God help me stop this, because if the moment I try to stop, the side effects will kick in and I have to drink again. But now you see there was no real presence of God. I was just saying it verbally.
Yeah.
So that is one thing. That is what I always pray. God help me stop drinking alcohol.
Because you felt it was already too much on you.
Too much on me. It was nothing was going straight. Actually, when I look back, I do see those years when I was in that situation. I see them as some dark years, blurry years. I can't point out issues good things that happened. I can't really point them out. They're just a dark memory.
Wow. So what can you tell someone who is watching us and they feel that they are so much into it? And okay, first tell me, so you didn't go to any rehab. This was purely the workings of God.
I don't know how the gates or the doors of a rehab looks like.
So it was purely the doings of God.
These are just the workings of God.
So what can you tell that particular person who is watching? They are captives of alcohol and other substances.
What I can tell you is that it is possible to come out of those chains, because they are chains that bind you. It will take, first of all, take your self-will. Don't wait until God decides to punish you. You've already punished yourself enough. So have that self-will that you can do it, and then put God first in it. Get down to your knees, pray, join believers, join people who will show you the path, the right way. Join those people who will help you even in transformation. Prayerful people, because prayer works wonders. And you yourself have that self-will in you, because the moment you also, God will see that you've dedicated yourself to quit, to stop that habit. You will definitely overcome it. Don't look at the way I used to look at the side effects and decide, no, these tremors are too much, let me go for a drink. When the tremors cool, I forget that I was quitting. I find myself back on it. So have that self-will, put God in it, surround yourself with this kind of people who will help you walk out of it, and don't look back. You will definitely succeed.
So right now we can boldly say that you're free from...
Very free, very fresh.
Wow.
The body is rejuvenated.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing. I'll actually put some pictures of him before Christ and after Christ. It's such a great transformation. And I want to encourage you who is watching me. You're wondering, how am I going to get myself out of this? The Bible says that God is our very present help in times of need. Just go down on your knees. If you don't have anyone, he was lucky he had his mom and his sister to run to. If there's no one you can run to, you can also take yourself to God. Just desperately go down before your knees and tell God you're now helpless. Let him come through, because from his story, there is hope of liberation. You're there, you are a captive of alcohol and cigarettes and any other substance. You are abusing them. There is hope of you being liberated. There is a God in heaven who hears and answers prayers. Thank you so much for taking your time to listen to this amazing story. And if you are there, you're wondering, how can I reach to Paul? Maybe I'd love a heart-to-heart kind of a talk. I believe you're open for that, right?
Very, very much open.
Yeah, so I'm going to link up my number at the end of this show. Please feel free. You can reach me out on WhatsApp. You can reach me up on Facebook, and I'm going to connect you with Paul so that he can be of help to you. Please tell my viewers to subscribe.
Kindly subscribe, share, and like this video. Subscribe to this channel,
Share.
The Light Out Show. Share it and like the video.
Absolutely, there you got it. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again next week with another amazing guest. God bless you, stay safe, and I love you. Cheers.